I hate traffic. You do too. So why do we stick ourselves in this mess? I used to speed from Longueuil, a southern suburb of Montreal. I'd take a quarter loop onto Taschereau Boulevard, another quarter onto the Jacques-Cartier Bridge, yet another quarter loop to the Ville-Marie Tunnel, then a quarter loop up the Descaries, another quarter loop here to there. Actually, the speed only describes my impatience. I was in a hurry to make it to work on time, to meet project deadlines, pick up my kids from daycare. Before that, I was in a hurry to finish school, find a partner, care for my 2 young sons, and have a career in the fashion industry. I was in such a hurry to make all these milestones, but all the while stuck in never enough time. So it was in this blur of being a couple, rearing children, ambition, and rushing around at full speed that I crashed. Oh, the warning signs were all there. Arguments, screeching brakes, distractions, burnouts, illnesses. But at that speed, I couldn't make out the shape of anything. So when I crashed big time, I burnt out at work. My life partner was no longer for life, and I found myself just shy of a year in Notre-Dame-de-Grâce. I think I landed here in self-preservation. You know things are headed towards an awful collision, so you look. Oncoming traffic, roadkill, brick and mortar, or the field. When I moved my family from the suburbs to the city, my gut said NDG. A single mother with 2 boys is not an easy choice. It's nothing to toot about or to be ashamed about either. It's just the shape of my life, and at one point it came with clarity. I simply slowed down. I moved slower. I gazed. I mulched over words. I slowed down around my children. I finally found a quiet job as a receptionist. I slowly made friends for my children's school. Slowly made friends on my street. Notre-Dame-de-Grâce to me is defined by my son's school. My children are 7 and 9, and their public English school sits on the north side of Benny Park. That's where the former principal took me aside for a kind chat about how my children were coping with their parents' separation. That's where the after school gym animator runs her class. When I had interviews or late meetings, Miss Delphina would pick up my kids from daycare and take them to her gym class. Yep, it was all support that was offered intuitively and graciously. That's also the place where the school garden started. That's where I found Ernest eating broccoli straight from a plant like a deer. That's where Pierre-André learned about tomatoes and aphids from Miss Lauren. And just Lauren, now my dear friend. That's when we really met, chère Correspondante. When you came to this garden and recorded our conversation. I was actually talking about my children and what the garden had taught them, and you said, "Wait a sec. That's a friendly habit of yours, asking questions and listening to people. Here is where you brought your giant puppets from the Cheap Art Collective and all the other friendly folks from St. Raymond. I learned from your giant puppets that art is what you make of it and the casual time well spent. It can be so simple as leftover cardboard and paint shared, and art not so precious, but vital as bread. Or in this case, it is this group, and our stories and words shared. It's been 2 years of slow-mo, but that is not to say that I don't relapse into old habits. Hurried groceries during the week, back-to-back birthday parties, to themed playdates, receive here and go there, fighting the pressure not to disappoint all the friendly faces in the hood. However, now I am much better at identifying the warning signs, and I can make out the muffled voice. Slow down. I obey. I slow it down. And in this calm, that's when quiet moments can happen. Cheap art with my sons on one autumn afternoon. That's where I found my dear Ernest eating chocolate chips and wandering off to play with a balloon. That's when Pierre-André asked me to make a parachute for his action figure. Notre-Dame-de-Grâce has been defined by these slow connections with my family, my neighborhood, my community, and you, mes chers correspondants.